Welcome to Kings Peak Language Arts, and today we're going to talk about backing responses with textual evidence or text evidence. So we're going to go over three things: implicit versus explicit, text evidence, and citing. Implicit versus explicit. Explicit is what is stated directly in a text. Implicit is what requires inferences. And there are two kinds of inferences you kind of deal with the most. Subtext, things that the author wants you to know but doesn't say directly but gives strong hints. And context, things that you need to know about either the time period, culture, or place that the text is set, or the time period, culture, or place that the text is written, that the author just assumes you know. So let's look at this example. She drinks pints of coffee and writes little observations and ideas for her stories with her best fountain pen on linen white pages of inexpensive notebooks. Sometimes, when it's going badly, she wonders if what she really believes to be a love of the written word is really just a fetish for stationery. Let's go through this together. She drinks pints of coffee and writes little observations on ideas for her stories with her best fountain pen on linen white expensive notebooks. That's all explicit. She writes her ideas on good paper with a good old-fashioned fountain pen. It's probably expensive, and you can't carry it around easily. Sometimes when it's going badly, she wonders if what she believes to be a love of the written word is just a fetish for stationery. So she wonders if she really likes writing or if she's really not good at it and it's just using an excuse to use these nice writing implements. Or maybe she's trying to use the nice writing implements to convince herself that her words are actually important. But does she care about the implements more than she cares about the actual writing? Now, we're going to deal with text evidence or textual evidence. Quotes from the text support what you want to say about it. Pretty simple. To find text evidence, go back to the text. Find the part or parts of the text that led you to believe something about the topic in which you were writing, and then pull the quote. Pull the quote just means highlight it and take it out in some way so that you can use it. Now, when you use a quote, you need to cite, but you need to cite not just by throwing a quote in there and dropping it in the middle of the paragraph. That's not what you need to do. You need to use the ICE method. And so introduce a quote, use your own words, explain what the quote is and where it's from, use the quote, cite the quote, explain and interpret the quote. So for example, the woman in one day would like to be a writer, but she lacks the confidence. She drinks pints of coffee and writes little observations and ideas for stories of her best fountain pen on the linen white pages of expensive notebooks. Sometimes when it's going badly, she wonders if what she believes to be a love of the written word is really just a fetish for stationery. Nichols. We can see that the character doubts herself and is trying to convince herself of her own importance by using expensive and out-of-date writing implements as if that would make her ideas serious. So we introduced the quote. Where is it from? One day. What are we using it to prove? That the writer lacks confidence, or the woman wants to be the writer but lacks confidence. Then there's a quote. You have the citation, which is Nichols. It's almost always going to be the author's last name. Sometimes if you don't have the author's last name, you'll use the beginnings of a title or the title. But almost with literature, you almost always have it. And then some interpretation about the quote that tells me why you did it this way. So in summary, text can be used to support answers about what you think the text explicitly states or infers. To find it, locate the parts of the text that led you to believe what you think about the text, and then quote it formally using the ICE method. That's how you find and cite textual evidence. Thank you.